There we go. Hey everybody, Sonic here from the Pro Shop, reporting for the NSL, SkyLeague.com, at Paraclete XP for the 2025 U.S. Indoor Nationals. I am sitting with the gold medalists, the U.S. Army Golden Knights. I have Jesse Stahler, Mike Connor, Mitch Stockenberg, and Nick Birkner. Did I say that right, Nick?
Correct.
Awesome. Congratulations, fellas.
Yeah,
Thank you.
How'd that feel?
Amazing.
Awesome. You had the whole crowd out there cheering for you. You're on your home turf, so it's got to be feel really good. But before we even talk about this meet, let's just step back to your. Let's step back a little bit. The team was together since 2023 is when you guys started.
Yes. And we got together in 2023 in May, so we're actually just coming up on 2 years.
Gotcha. 2 years. And at that time, Mike and Jesse were also doing 8-way with XP8, correct?
I don't actually remember when that project began, but we originally brought Mitch and Mike on for the 8-way project, the GK, when we rebuilt the 8-way team. And, when we transitioned from 8-way to 4-way, they were in the ranks. We let all the old people retire. They stepped up into the slots. And, we, like Mitch said, we've been focused on it for just over 2 years now and fully dedicated and on board. And 4-way is a lot of excitement, faster. It's pretty dynamic at times, and we're just in love with it right now.
Totally. And basically, strictly 4-way after the past world meet in Beaufort, right, where you guys competed, and 8-way world champs. Again, 2-time World Cup last year in Voss.
Correct.
And then world champ. Congratulations on that, guys. That's great. So the first meet of this season, win games. Let's just talk about that. Does anybody just want to elaborate on your performance and how you guys felt at your first meet of the year?
Yeah, I'll touch on that a little bit. Obviously, right now we're super stoked, especially in comparison to what we performed or how we performed in win games. So right now we're trying to measure our success backwards in comparison to that, especially being such a younger team. We definitely are fast enough. The raw score showed that at win games. It was pretty competitive, but we had 15 busts, and our goal at this meet was to just clean that up and just get a bunch of zeros, 0 bust, and we finished this meet, I believe, with 8 busts, pending round 10 results. But in comparison, we couldn't be happier with where we're at from that meet. We didn't have to speed up at all. We just calmed down, put things together, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
We were skydiving with smiles on our face.
It's great, and like I said, being on home turf always helps. Nick, how did you feel about things?
I loved it. I mean, being on this team has been an absolute joy for me. I absolutely love my job, and working with these guys has been fantastic. The comparison between win games and this has been just absolutely incredible, because it was a lot more awareness, a lot more connectedness, a lot more togetherness in this meet. So it's been a really great meet for us, this go around.
That's great. Let me ask Mike, how that atmosphere in Imperia Brava, because you guys have you done any other comps overseas, over in Europe, anywhere?
Not indoor comps.
That was your first indoor comp.
Correct.
And for those that don't know, a lot of the European tunnels are way different than what you guys have here at home. Some of the other tunnels around the country here are the all glass, but they have that really wicked atmosphere, I have to say. So how'd you feel with that atmosphere?
It's definitely exciting having all that energy and the crowd lining the glass. Every time we're coming up for the round, though, that all just fades away, and we're just focused on each other, focused on inside the tunnel. What's outside of it doesn't matter.
Yeah, gotcha. And so after the world meet in Beaufort, strictly 4-way, how much tunnel time did you guys prepare for that win games?
Oh man, I would say 10 hours.
No, we had 3 weeks dedicated. In January, we had 1 week camp with Nick Hemlin, our coach, in December. So I would say we were probably just north of 20, looking at all those weeks. That last week, we ended up kind of we're trying to mature ourselves and figure out what rest means, not going into meets tired all the time. So we applied a little bit of that logic, and yeah, we felt good. Traveling obviously overseas for high stress meets, especially tunnel. I would consider all tunnel meets are pretty high stress. They're very quick. You don't have the weight of the rig on the back. But then traveling overseas and then the time change and your normal routine. So like you said, being at home, it's wonderful. You can absorb a lot more of that. So we still have to learn a little bit more with that overseas environment. We're looking forward to that this year, getting as much experience as we can.
How early did you go? How much time did you do there practicing for that when you got there? Because a lot of teams want to get the home feel. Even seeing the French team here at this U.S. Indoor Nationals, a lot of people are like, why are they here? And a lot of you probably know that in April it's going to be the World Championship. So they're like, this is practice. This is us getting used to this big tunnel because they're little guys. And 14 footers, maybe helps them a little bit. So being in a much larger tunnel, they're like, we need this practice. And again, people think tunnel air is the same. It is not. You can ask these guys. Every tunnel you go to has different airflow. So it's a matter of learning that. So how much time did you do before the Wind Games there?
Yeah, I mean, you just nailed it on the head right there with a 14 tunnel versus a 16-foot tunnel. So we kind of did the same thing for Windor. We don't have any time in a 14-foot tunnel. So
oh, really?
We showed up a week early, and I believe we had 3 training days, but I want to say no more than an hour and a half total. But yeah, the 14-foot tunnel is no joke for sure. So
yeah.
We valued that time to kind of make things smaller. And honestly, I think that little bit of time in the 14-footer transition to this 16-footer, we just kept things a lot smaller. So yeah, we definitely look forward to going back to Windor. Clean air, super nice tunnel, amazing energy. And just, like I said, 14-foot is
the smaller tunnels work for the smaller people. Nick down there, when we were watching, he gets in the tunnel, man, you look like you're 7'2" in that thing, compared to Mike, who is a little bit smaller, but
normal size torso.
You touched on Nick Loss being your coach. How long has Nick Loss been your coach?
Since kind of the transition between 8-way and 4-way, when we were bringing up a whole new crew, I mean, we usually lost Sean Sweeney, Kurt Eisenbarger, Matt Davidson, Jen Davidson, really, ultimately. We fundamentally were lacking where the sport had evolved to with body flight, right? And I think Hayabusa broke the mold early in the teens, right? Like 2013 onward. Airspeed figured that out in the late teens, right, with their new rebuild. So we wanted to hire him as a captain who has done it, who has built the team from the ground up, with Chris and Joey starting really from scratch, right? And well, look what they became. So we wanted to take the same formula, and it's been great working with Nick. And honestly, the first few sessions were really painful because it was, hey, you're bad at that, do it again. And it was all individual body flight. We felt like we went back to the basics, and we sucked, to be very honest. So it's been great. Yeah, this is I want to say, going on the 4th season, having Nick on in our proximity working with us.
Is it going to continue this whole season through nationals?
Yep, we're planning to have him through 2026. This is a run for the World Meet in Arizona, so that's the goal for us. And yeah, we would like to keep him on board.
That's awesome. Yeah, he sort of knows what he's doing.
Yeah, a little bit.
I love you, Nick Loss. So this year, training, going forward, jump numbers, what are we looking at as far as what you guys plan to do?
So like Jesse just said, we're trying to mature into, learning what rest is. And in the past, we'd always put a high number on the jump numbers. Right now we're valuing quality over quantity currently. And we are super stoked to start this outdoor season. We've been looking forward to this, So I can't really put a number on it, Sonic, but as long as we're feeling good and we're reading each other's mojo, and we'll just get after it. But quality is over quantity for sure.
Awesome. After the World Meet in April, the Tunnel World Meet, they had moved the Shamrock Showdown to keep all the European teams here. The French, Hayabusa, I don't know what other Qataris, I don't know what other teams might actually stay for the Shamrock, but they made it the week after the World Meet. Obviously, you guys are going to the Shamrock Showdown, right? Between now and then, how much something you think you're going to try and get in?
We have 2 weeks out in Arizona planned. That's kind of what we consider our concentrated ACC. That's kind of the hard transition back from out of the indoor season into the outdoor. So we're going to give 2 hard weeks out at Eloy. Also kind of get used to the environment, right? We're going to have a lot of big meets there coming up. Nationals will be there later this year, and then the World Meet the following year. So that will kind of kick us off straight into the Shamrock. It's a lot of high level events with all these European teams, like you said, being in our area. The best are going to be there and putting out their best work. So it's really exciting for us. But like Mitch said, we're just going to be plugging away, doing as much
quality training as we can between now and then. Cool. Yeah, I was talking to John, and they might be bringing back the Summer Classic to have another competition, since it's such an important year, as you guys already stated, that this is the on year for the winner of the U.S. Nationals, going to compete at the 2026 World Meet in Eloy, as Jesse just said. I don't know what else. So let's talk about this meeting now. So we talked about all the past and what time. Who wants to say something about this meeting? I know you already talked a little bit about it, but what was the mental, game coming into this, again, coming from the Win Games, and being on home turf? Was there anything that you did a little different? Or was this good old fashioned training?
No, we definitely try to view this meet as because it is our home turf, like it's a normal Monday, showing up to training, and low stress, because right now, like I said earlier, we're focused on cleaning things up, and we just kind of had to trust that we're fast enough, that we have the technique down. Let's just kind of smoothing some things out.
Sure. Talking to a lot of other top teams, Airspeed has their OG member, Jack Jeffries, who's sort of been their sports psychologist. Other teammates, I know, Mitch, talking to you, that you have your cognitive coach, you call him, or sports psychologist.
Yep, sports
How much time are you guys spending with doing that? A week? Month? Like, what are you guys doing?
We meet with her at least once a week, sometimes more, but she sends us stuff to really focus on homework, if you will. We all individually do that at home, whether it's breath work, imagery work, just really truly believing in success to go get it.
Awesome. Well, sitting here with the U.S. Army Golden Knights, gold medalists, their first gold medal as a team. We know what that means. Beer. I really appreciate the time that you guys took to sit down with me after the meet. Congratulations again. You got the whole country rooting for you. Personally, I got my old team members of other teams, but I've been a Golden Knight fan forever, and constantly rooting you guys on, cheering for you. I look forward to your success this year. Great job, fellas.
Thank you, Sonic.